Hey, what's up, YouTube? We're live. See if I can get the thing going right here. There we go. Nice little. Holy shit! Dave's Nanotanks is here in an instant. What's up, Dave? What's going on tonight? How many butts you ripped today? Pack and a half, easy. Bubba, what's up? Samuel, how are you doing? What's up, Rack? Rack's in the house. Quick, look at all these. Oh, shit. Sorry, Dave. Didn't mean to do that. You know me. I'm like willy-nilly. There's no scheduling. There's, okay, let's go live. Haven't gone live in whatever, so let's do it. Pretty soon I'll be up. I just went through your area last week twice, driving to Myrtle Beach and back from Myrtle Beach. Hey, Sandy. Sandy's off tonight. Sarah's working tonight. She's at work right now. I just texted her. I was like, I'm bored. I'm going to go live for an hour, say hi to everybody, see if anybody has any questions, fish tank stuff, talk about vacation, the tanks while I was on vacation, and all that stuff. What's up, Travis? Hello, just 52. Dave Nanotanks was just about to go live, and he saw my live stream coming up. So sorry, Dave, but yep, we went to Ripley's Aquarium. It was awesome. And then other than that, we just hung on the beach the whole time. Beach. Threw the football around, kicked the soccer ball, went swimming, made up stupid games on the beach. It was awesome. Ever used Fluval Aquasolum? I don't think so. I don't know that I've even heard of that. Aquasolum. Send her a text, Sandy. Oh, Steve Ninja's in here saying it's about time I had a live stream. I know. I've been away. I've been away on vacation. Nope, no sharks. And I did not. So last year we went down Rack, and I thought I found a shark tooth. Looked, it probably was, but lots of shells. But no, we didn't find any this year. There's Mr. Greg. Greg, my business partner and a great friend. Greg Jones, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Jones. He took care of my huckleberry for a week, him and his wife, and he took care of all the tanks. And Greg's always coming and going in my house. Like I'm never even here. He's just like doing stuff. But the first dilly of the night is to a great person, a great friend, a great business partner, Greg Jones. Cheers, buddy, to you and your wife and Polly. Thanks, Polly, you old ass dog. All right, Dave, I'll come on if you're on. I know you do like 2.5 hours. I'll see you. Yeah, River Life. I love watching that gold panning. I watch all those shows. Gold Rush, friggin' Bering Sea Gold, anything to do with gold, I love watching. Anything to do with Alaska, I love watching. I love that. I love that crap. All that stuff is extremely awesome. So who's here tonight? We got Greg, Rack, Dave's gonna do a live stream. Lisa, I'm hoping, is gonna come in soon. The most ultimate wrench ever. It's Wednesday night. I got nothing. I just put the kids to bed, most of them. Went downstairs. Tanks are all good. All the crap got done. Oh, look at this. ARD for all the way across the pond has his notification that actually worked. Sergeant Tank Pets, I was going to message you today. I was like, oh, should I message him and be like, I know it's late notice. And this was like at probably like 7:40. So I'm watching TV with the kids, just made popcorn, popcorn. Boys are gone, little kids watching TV. I'm like, oh, maybe I should message him and see if he wants to go live and do his Q&A tonight. Because I got the questions written up, so we're good there. And I caught up on a lot of your videos, but then I was like, no. He also has 4 kids, so it's probably late. Too late notice. Not late at night, just a late notice. So I knew I should have messaged you. You would have been up. I'm gonna do it next time. Not that it's late, but like, your kids are probably in bed by now. Well, probably not your oldest. What's up, Vinoski? Yeah, he's ready. He's ready to go. Oh man. All right. So my wife's gone Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. One of those nights we're gonna do the Q&A. You message me what night you want to do it. We're on. What's everybody doing on a Wednesday night? I know my favorite show on Wednesday night is MasterChef, and I can't watch it because my wife's working. So I gotta wait for her to come home tomorrow, and then I get to watch that show. Other than that, it's just like bombing around the house, doing all sorts of other crap. All right, sounds good, buddy. I'll message you tomorrow. I'll send you a Facebook message. What else is everybody doing? Anybody have any fish tank awesome stuff they want to drop? What are they doing? Are they setting up tanks? Are you taking down tanks? What do you got? JSS is out shopping for supplies for a new 40 breeder. Mr. D, don't give me any spoilers. Yeah, Rack, I love all the Food Network shows. I'm like a Food Network junkie. Late night, Food Network. NFL Network, Food Network. NFL Network, Food Network. Just back forth, back forth. Oh, Greg's getting ready to set up 6 outdoor tubs for his new greenhouse, folks. Go over to Greg Jones' YouTube channel. He's been doing updates on his new greenhouse, but I get the inside scoop before it actually happens. So today I just saw his complete greenhouse completed with already some My Aquarium box supplies and driftwood and aquascaping stuff for sale at shop.myaquariumbox.com. Plug. And he's ready to go. I actually just messaged him like, I don't know, an hour ago. Is the greenhouse going to support New England snow? And he's like, yep, it's all good. And it looks gorgeous. So I'm sure he'll have a video up tomorrow or the next day. But if you follow Greg Jones, go check out this greenhouse. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see what kind of stuff he's going to do for like storage and like live stuff. He says he's getting ready to set up ponds. It's August already. He's going to set up a pond. It's going to be September. Pretty soon it's going to be cold. But I can't wait to see it. I'm happy for him. Sandy's going to set up all the shrimp. She's going to set up a shrimp tank. She's bought all the fixins. Oh, the chat's gone way too far. Okay, here we go. I'll catch up. What's a good sump for it? I'm still not all that well on sumps. The seamless sumps were awesome. It just comes, it's boom. You just put it and run it. Seamless sumps were good. I like mine anyway. Trent has green, has hair algae. Use a toothbrush or a fork. That works great. Oh my God, yeah, Arizona, 110. And the AC probably can't even keep up. Yeah. Heat is a killer, for sure. Once it gets way up there, just, you gotta drop frozen bottles of water or bags of ice cubes in the tank just to keep it stable. What's a good food for bamboo shrimp? So the bamboo shrimp are the ones that they have the fans and they're like whoosh, 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 whoosh. Like all day long they just find a spot to go and they're like just fanning the flappers in. So I would say any type of flake or small, maybe even like some saltwater food that you would feed LPS might actually be good for those bamboo shrimps. Seriously, Patricia, ice cubes, yep. Ammonia shrimp work good for a lot of algae. They go to town on a lot of stuff. The only fish, and you can do videos and talk about all day long, best 5 fish for algae, best 5 fish for hair algae, best 5 fish for this. I've had autos, Chinese algae eaters, Siamese algae eaters, Amanos, like plecos, you name the algae eater, I've had it. And the best one, actually not the best one, because I can't say this. The only one I've seen eat hair algae is a molly. Black molly, orange molly with the black tail, any type of white molly. They got all sorts of colors. The only fish I've seen eat hair algae is a molly. And they breed like crazy, so that's good too. What's up, Cruz? In the house. Christina says Amano don't kill her hair algae. Yeah, like I said, mollies are the only ones that I've seen actually eat it. Witnessed, like them picking at it. A flake grinder would be handy for feeding the fan feeders. Isn't that special that Rack mentions the grinder? Because if you got my aquarium box, you would have just got one. Flake and pellet grinder, thanks to Greg Jones, who thinks up all these awesome box ideas. Too many. This tank needs a serious trimming. I got to get rid of some more Blixa and just thin it out. This plant, right? Let me click over to my Hangout here. Right here. Well, it looks this way on the screen. There we go. Right there. All that dwarf sag is now just producing runners that are going up to everywhere in the whole thing. It's ridiculous. Sandy did. What's up, Boston Proud? Love that name. Hope you're from Boston. And if we talked before and I didn't remember, I'm wicked fucking sorry, guy. So to Patricia, unlucky Eddie, I still got the skimmer. I can go get it right in my garage right here. It's yours. I have it. I just need to mail it. And I'm so sorry I haven't done that. Don't wait on me, but you will have it. I just have to get that mailed out. Greg, we need to mail out Unlucky Eddie's the skimmer that I got with the stand. Yeah, just wait a little while. They'll go for it. At least the ones I got. What's up, Keith? Garth, what's a good size tank for a cichlid tank. I had a Mbuna tank. My 40-gallon reef was my Mbuna tank, but I think like 55. You can get away with. I will, Greg. It's in inquiries in our Gmail. You can get away with 40, but I would say 55 or 75 at like minimum. 55 or 75 is good to start off with cichlids. But they need a lot of space. Holy shit! Paul Madfish, my brother from years ago here. He's probably in some ridiculous European state right now, drinking friggin' Stellas in a hotel room, working on some high power line. Who knows what the hell he's doing? What's up, Paul? What's up, Mike? Brown algae on the tank walls, just wipe it off. Paper towel, algae scrubber. Brown algae is dead zones. Wipe that glass clean. Paul Madfish, Jesus. Oh, it's been a while since I heard his voice. I'd love to. You still got the WhatsApp, Paul? Johan, what's up, buddy? Paul Madfish, Jesus Christ. I don't believe it. He just says he's at a music festival running a big team and he quit drinking. Something bad or he hit rock bottom must have happened because I don't believe that. But if it's true, so happy for you, Paul. Keep going. Doing what you do to survive. Yep, that's good. I always put moss on my driftwood. Love moss because even though it grows like crazy, you can just rip it out as needed. It's just one of those plants. You don't have to like snip it. You just like getting way out of hand, rip, 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 and then boom, it just looks perfect like it used before. Paul's got a small African tank. He says it's true. Well, then, although this is a beer, my brother Paul, it's a cheers in honor of you quitting drinking, even though it's a beer. Like, cheers. Proud of you. Keep it up. I'm still waiting for him to say like, I'm just kidding. How many pea puffers in a 10-gallon? Pea puffers need to eat a lot, right? 2, maybe 3, I would say. What do they get, like an inch or 2? I'd say probably 3 is good. What type of moss? Java moss, Christmas moss, any type of moss. Literally any type of moss you want to get. Excuse me. Any type of moss you want to get, you can tie it to driftwood and it's going to grow like crazy and it's going to be perfect. Java moss grows out of control. You're going to be pulling it left and right. I like Christmas moss. There's tons of mosses out there, but those are the 2 that I really like. Cheers, Paul. Good for you, man. Keep it going. Dilly dilly, Patricia. Is my clownfish going to be too big for a 40-gallon breeder? Nope. Clownfish are good. All set for that size. Now I took one big chunk and split it. I'm not understanding. What's up, Kevin? What is that? Now I took one chunk and split it up and tied it around the driftwood. Did I do it? Yeah. You just take all of it apart. Just say you have a ball of moss. You can take the tiniest strand. It could be like smaller than this toothpick. Tie it somewhere, and then that's going to grow. it grows like crazy. It does not stop. 90-gallon tank. I have numerous water changes, clean my filter, and I still have high nitrates pretty well planted. That is a low-tech tank. So Rob, like, is anything wrong with the tank besides you reading high nitrates? Like, are the fish fine? Because with that type of filtration, and if the fish and the water, if the water's clear and the fish are not acting erratically, for example, like they're not, say they don't eat, or they're swimming erratically, they're breathing really heavy, they're lethargic, if you have fish that show bright colors, if the colors aren't showing, like those are reasons that something could be wrong with the tank. I've been through it. I just went through it. 30 years I've been keeping fish, and I've gone through many, many different variables. But if everything is fine, then I wouldn't even worry about it. You're good to go. Like, don't even worry about the nitrates. It's not, everybody focuses on like the nitrates and the nitrites and this and that. It's really not even, it's important, don't get me wrong, but don't just like focus on that if everything else is fine in the tank. Yeah, Kevin, the bottom of the plant will grow. Just float it. You can float it, or you can plant the roots and keep that like little brown rhizome on top of the substrate. All right, Paul. It's good to see you, brother. Cheers. Friggin' Paul Madfish in the house. Any type of driftwood is good for plecos. They love it all. But cholla wood, they specifically love to gnaw on. And it just so happens that my aquarium box at shop.myaquariumbox.com sells cholla wood, or you can buy it on Amazon, because my aquarium box now sells stuff on Amazon. Go check it out. 150-gallon freshwater planted tank. So I'm very new to sumps, Grace. I love canister filters. 150 gallons. So the tank I have right now downstairs is 135 gallons. So we're right around the same ballpark. And I'm running the Custom Aquariums seamless sump. And I really like it so far. The plumbing kind of sucked, but if your tank already has plumbing, already has holes drilled, go for a sump. If it doesn't, you can just do like a giant FX6 and that'll be perfect. Or you can even add like an FX6 and then a 406. So if it's not drilled, do 2 canisters, or the FX6 would be plenty. The tank is crystal clear. All my other parameters are perfect. Just wondering why I keep getting high nitrate. I cut back on feeding my fish. Do look good. I have lost some fresh things. Yeah. Yeah. So you knocked off a few other categories. You're not overfeeding. Could just be like stuff in your tank is leaching stuff out. Like, I honestly would not worry about nitrates. Like, I know you're supposed to get 0 ammonia, 0 nitrite, and then like 20 ppm nitrate, and this and that and this and that. You just like watch your fish. If something's wrong, you can dial it into what? Like my 136 deaths of fish in my 135 went down to, I finally called my water company when I got home from vacation and picked out the date, and they dosed the entire water with overabundance of stuff because of the heat wave and this and that. And I'm pretty sure that's what killed the fish, because they're fine now. Greg Jones is answering questions. Mr. Wrenchy McGee. What's up, Naked Reefer? Does Dave have his live stream going too? I wish I could just put it up on the another window, and then I could talk to Dave while he's doing his live stream. Want to set up an all Tetra tank? I'm thinking a 55 gallon. Any suggestions or what Tetras don't get along and how many is okay for a 55 gallon? So if you're going to do Tetras, I think a 55 gallon is overkill. It's a nice skinny tank, but it's long. It's like 55 gallon is 4 feet long. Takes up a lot of room. You're going to have to put a lot of Tetras in there. I would do a 40 breeder, and then you can get some depth to the tank. You can add rummy nose, cardinals, there's all sorts of Tetras you can add, and it look really, really cool. 55, go for it if you can get it, but I think 40 is good. Johan's watching both. I think I watched his update today. I forget, on my lunch break. What soil and substrate do you use? I'm setting up a 55 gallon as well. So for this tank behind me, I just have inert Carib Sea Island Gold sand, and then I have what did I put in the back? I think I put fluorite in the back, but basically all I'm using to grow the plants is pressurized CO2, which obviously is a giant, help, and then root tabs. My aquarium box root tabs. Literally, that's not even a shameless plug. That's exactly what I'm using. Root tabs, CO2, light, flow, water, boom. How do you get rid of bloated fish? Flush them down the toilet. I don't know. How do you get rid of bloated fish? I don't know. Fish bloat. If fish have any sort of disease, I'm sorry, this is going to sound cruel, but I refuse to treat my tanks with healthy fish in the tank when ick is one thing, but if one fish has a tuft of white, or might be a little bit bloated and every other fish is fine, if he dies, he dies. I'm not going to treat a whole tank for the one fish. Sorry. If anybody does not like that. Thank you, alluring betas. Fish bloat, can you use frozen peas with the skin removed? Someone needs to explain to me what fish bloat is. Am I missing something? What's the best way to get ammonia down in a saltwater tank? Just run it. Cycle the tank. Get lots of rock in there, and get some life. Some shrimp. I always start with shrimp. They give off a little bit of ammonia, start the cycle off. They're very hardy. And if you just have 2 shrimp in a giant tank, there's not going to be any ammonia is going to affect them. And then you can slowly add a few fish here and there. And then that's the best way to get ammonia down. Cycle your tank. Approximately how many chili raspboras do you think could nicely fit in a 5 gallon? Would any be okay? No, I don't. So I don't think really anything can fit in a 5 gallon. 1 beta fish, maybe. 5 gallon is a very small tank. Shrimp, or I don't know, maybe a school of white cloud minnows or neons, something super, super tiny. Sometimes when you are a man, you wear stretchy pants. Nacho Libre. Cheers, Greg. Dilly dilly, Greg. Kevin, the Blackwater tank is finally settled in. There's been like a few emergencies, like fish were dying like crazy. I called the water company. They actually told me they added a bunch of crap to the water because there was just like no rain for a month and a half. Greg was here. He's like dropping, I'm gonna add a couple bags of carbon. We're gonna do this. I'm doing this. I'm doing water changes. Like it was just like a big friggin' what to do. And but all the fish currently, like once it leveled itself out, they're all good. Still have all the 3 angels left. That one Cardinal Tetra, like he's like the Hulk. One Cardinal Tetra out of 100, he's there. And then all the plecos, they're just like growing and eating like crazy. Yeah, fish bloat. Oh, yeah, under, keep the feeding too good. What's up, Mitch? How are you doing? Dilly dilly, Steve Ninja. Dilly friggin' dilly. Thanks, Kev. Appreciate it. What's up, Shane? Well, like African shell dwellers, I still think you need to go bigger. Bigger, bigger, bigger. Rax, dropping my latest video when I was back from vacation. That's funny. You're the man, Rack. I love, if anybody hasn't checked out River Life, go check him out because he's, so I don't want to say he's not a good video maker because I'm not a good video maker, but like there's something about him you just want to like his sincerity, you just want to watch and you want to see where he's going. And his videos are just really sincere. And that's why I watch his videos. I watch, it doesn't matter what it is. If it entertains me for some reason, I watch it. So I watch it. Go check out River Life. Hey, Rich is hanging out in Rehoboth, Massachusetts. Shane's working on his dosing pump. She's probably hanging with her kids. Mitch says, treat your water 3 to 4 days with Seachem Safe and a drum with power head on it, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's way too much. Way too much work. So the whole point of fish keeping for me is to enjoy the setup, enjoy the process, establish the tank, let it grow out, enjoy the whole thing with at least amount of work I have to do possible. Because then once you love many, many tanks and you have to do so much work on each one, then it becomes a problem. How many tanks can you honestly have and enjoy them all and still, have a life? Fort Wayne in the house. Dilly dilly rack. Seriously. Man, that whole Alaska series I loved because I friggin' love Alaska. That like people want to go to the Caribbean or go to Florida or friggin' Myrtle Beach, beach. I want to go to Alaska. I don't even care if it's the winter. I don't use any liquid fertilizers. Trent, root tabs, and CO2. A good folks, anybody starting planted tanks, a nutrient rich soil, whether you have to put Osmocote down with some sort of base substrate, And then whether you have sand or gravel or rocks, any inert, every plant that you're going to grow in your tank, well, 95% of the plants you're going to grow in your tank feed from the roots. You have to feed the roots. So root tabs, any type of fertilizer or nutrient-rich soil, and then you can substitute it in the soil. I don't think liquid fertilizers work all that well. It's a liquid. You squirt it, and I am not saying that I've never used liquid fertilizers in the past. I have videos on using liquid fertilizers, but in my head, I'm just thinking you dump the liquid in the tank and then it starts getting dispersed by your filters and your circulation pumps, and then it goes into the filter and gets sucked down and boom, spit out the other end after it's been through your carbon and your sponges and this and that and this and that. I've had much more success growing plants with feeding the roots. So a liquid fertilizer, in my opinion, at this stage in what I'm doing is I just don't think it works all that well. Or maybe it does. I don't understand the science about it. I need Nick Mach 007 to start making more videos. It's been like 3 years, but I don't see the point of a liquid fertilizer. It goes into the water column, and how much of that fertilizer gets sucked up by anything before it's effective? I could be wrong. Maybe it does. I don't know. What's the best thing for floaters? I'm struggling with them. Ordered some for frogbit. Oh, frogbit. Frogbit can be a tough one. Duckweed grows like crazy no matter what. Frogbit, I've had great success with. Where it grows, it takes over the whole tank, and then you start scooping it out, and then before you know it, the leaves are maybe melting. But Frogbit is a really good floater. Shizdank, I don't even know when his last video was, but he has a lot of floaters in his tank. Rachel has just done a video on floaters, I think, within the last 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And I like floaters. I'm putting floaters in the new 135. Trying to keep them out of the sump though. Probably gonna have to use a net or like some sort of mesh for the overflow. How is your Mbuna tank doing? It's been down for at least 3 years, I would say. 4 years probably. See, hey, there you go. Rack's getting subs left and right. Trying to go through all these different windows on your computer at once is starting to mess with my eyes. All right, so what time we got? 36 minutes. Who's got questions? Come on. Let's get these questions going, or it's time for me to go watch Sports Center. Speaking of betas, I've never had any luck with beta fish. Never. Can't even think of one time where I had a beta more than a couple weeks. I don't know why they just don't thrive in any of my aquariums. I had one in this one. I've had small beta tank only. Just can't get them to work. And you'd think they'd be like super hardy. Like when you see them at the store, you're like, oh shit, I should rescue this beta, or that's a gorgeous beta. Even local fish stores that have beautiful beta tanks, I don't know. Trent says, do I enjoy going fishing for big bass, and what's my PB? I'm assuming that's personal best, or I don't know. Yeah, I friggin' love going fishing for big bass, and my personal best is, I think it's 4.5, but I will tell this story real quick. I've been ice fishing for 30 plus years with my dad. He's a big time ice fisherman. And I went out to a hole way deep, past all the tilts. It was kind of a slow day. And I'm like, I'm just going to go out there and jig for a while. And I brought a few beers out there, and I'm out there. This was, I think maybe, probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And I'm jigging 45 minutes. I finished all my beers, and I'm like, hey, Dad, bring me out a couple beers, will you? And he walks all the way out there, brings me a few beers, and I go to light up a cigarette, and I'm like, this is when I smoked. I'm like, hey, hold this bowl for me, Dad, will you? Just jig for a while. And I'm trying to light the butt up, and I can't do it. And I'm like, hey, and I go down, and I finally get my cigarette lit up. And he's sitting there, and I'm like, all right, I'll take the pull. He's like, what are you talking about? I think I got something. He takes this little freshwater summer rod that had broke, that I turned into a jig rod and put some stupid lure on it with just a twirly, like a white twirly worm and a spoon. It was ridiculous. He reels in a 7+ pound bass through the ice in Massachusetts. Thing is like, huge, and we're freaking out. It was like the weirdest day ever. And I made him one of those, this is how long ago it was when he caught that fish. Those MasterCard commercials were going, like, oh, burnt tree, pine cone, grass, tent, MasterCard, spending time with your kids, priceless. Those priceless MasterCard commercials. So I made him one of those. He had the fish hauled up with my homemade jig rod of a fishing pole that was cracked in half, and old ass poly line and the works. Perfect. Like this catching, because my dad's been fishing forever. He's 63. And he's been ice fishing forever. He's been taking me ice fishing since I was friggin' could barely even walk. And he's never caught a fish that big. And to give him the pole because I needed to light a friggin' cigarette and have him catch the fish of his lifetime, that actually was priceless. So, yeah, there you go. There's my story of the night. Jose says, do jewel cichlids live with tetras? I do not know. Trent says he wants to go ice fishing on his bucket list. Well, you can make it happen anytime in New England or North Canada. You're good. What's the best online fish store? Salt and Fresh. I've actually had really good success with Live Aquaria. There's also I had great fish come in from Angels 83, I think it is. They do angels, bristlenose, and a few other type of fish that on Facebook that I really like that fish. They're angelfish. Dilly dilly, Trent. Ever try pothos in your aquariums? Yes, Kevin. Go watch my last video, the 7 days away from vacation. My whole new 135 has all pothos like crazy now, and I put a bunch more in, and the ones that I put like 6 weeks ago, the roots are like a foot, and they're all growing new leaves, starting to grow up the driftwood. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. What I planned on doing is actually happening, so that's cool. Manfredo Morales says, do I like Imbunas? Yes, I do. I like all fish. I like mbunas. I like peacocks and haps. I like freshwater and saltwater. If I could think of a fish that I don't like, there's got to be a fish that I don't like. Well, ironically, German blue rams, while are some of the most gorgeous, gorgeous uh, small cichlids, I've never had good luck with them. And so no matter how bad I want to keep them and give a great environment, chasing pH and all the videos I tell you not to do, I've tried many times to keep German blue rams, and hey, I just can't do it. I don't know. But I don't hate those fish. But that would be the one that I would. Hello, Scalare man, if that's how you pronounce that. Wednesday Night Live, not even 10 o'clock on the East Coast, but could be late for some folks. Lisa's not around. She's usually always here. Death Mage is here. I just saw an email from you about your box. Did Greg answer that? And under the questions, let me know. I know if you ordered after the 4th, you don't get the box till next month. That's just the way the subscription system works. What's my favorite fish? And do I know a simple way to bag fish? Yeah, you just catch them in a net, put them in a 5-gallon bucket. Then you can fill up a bag of water and catch them in the 5-gallon bucket in like a second. Tie it real quick, traps the air in. Oh geez, my favorite fish. Right now, it's still the angelfish, as it always has been. Rainbow fish are a close second. Freshwater fish has to be the angelfish. It's just if you get some really quality angels and their tails and their dorsal fins and the pectoral fins and the way they're graceful but yet they're aggressive at times, it's just really beautiful fish to watch. So angelfish, as always, I love angelfish. Freshwater, saltwater, angelfish. Okay, good. That's good. Good to hear, Death Mage. Mage, Magay, Mijiwa. Is there a way to get a lush planted tank like yours with no CO2? Yes. You just need to buy like less demanding plants, swords, Anubias, Java fern. There's many plants that don't require. Basically, there's a lot, like 50% of the plants you don't need to have CO2 or fertilizers. There's just you'll see the growth time. When you have CO2, they grow like crazy, very quick. It's like steroids for plants. If you don't have CO2, but if you still have good flow and you're feeding the roots, they grow, they just don't grow as fast. You add CO2, they grow faster. You add a really high intensity light, then they grow even faster. But then that's more you have to worry about with. If I have high light and high CO2, which one do I dial down so that the plants aren't burning out, but they're getting the CO2 they need, blah, 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 blah. I suggest just getting on average LED light, and if you add CO2 and you feed the roots, perfect. If you don't add CO2, they'll grow, just not as fast. It's just, I mean, that's the way it is. You can't get plants to grow fast if you don't, beef them up. But that doesn't mean that you have to do that. I love low-tech tanks because high-tech tanks or even fast-growing tanks like this one and many other tanks around the, everywhere. You got to take care of them. You got to trim them. You got to constantly remove stuff. They just grow so quick. If you want the tank to look like anything, you got to remove stuff. SMMSH doses every 2 to 3 days, and the plants are doing great. Yep, that's good. Christina, I replace root tabs usually in this tank. If I see like any lack of, there's never been a lack of growing, but if in a low tech tank with no CO2, I would replace them every 2 months. If you have CO2, you can get away with every 3 to 4 months. And I just put a root tab like every 2 inches, like here, 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 and I just spread them out around all the roots of the plants every 2 inches apart. Trent says, go Clemson Tigers. Yeah, you can try Live Aquaria. I've actually emailed Imperial Tropicals quite a few times for to buy fish, and I got one email back, and then that was it. So maybe they don't want to buy. Maybe they don't want to sell fish. I don't know. A company that doesn't want to sell what they're supposed to sell. Anyway. Angels are my favorite fish, but mine are nearly killing all my fish, so gotta move them. Angels can get aggressive. They're cichlids, and they get really big. So if you have like small fish like tetras, guppies, platies, any type of those little fish, they will definitely either eat them or like bully them around. Angels, that's why I love them. They're like really docile and gorgeous as they grow up, but then once they get full grown, like they are still cichlids, and they do get vicious. I had a gorgeous, gorgeous silver angel with black stripes, most beautiful angel. And he was getting beat up by some of the other angels in my 75, and his whole front of his face eventually was removed. He had no nose, no upper lip, nothing. He just had a bottom jaw, and he survived for quite a long time. And then he went with when I sold the 75 to another guy's house, Shad, who kept him for a while, and that was cool. But yeah, he got it. Hey, Kendall Otter got his mega bucks. Good job. I hope you liked it. Appreciate all the support, Kendall. But schooling fish non-expensive won't fin nip my angelfish. Rummy nose tetras, rasboras, cardinal fish, cardinal tetras. Those are three of my favorites, and they're the most, they're not the most common, but they're the most, viewed fish probably because, well, they're awesome. Rummy nose are my favorite. In this tank right now, I have, I don't know, maybe 12 cardinals and 12 to 16 rummy nose. The cardinals are gorgeously colored and they move a little slower, but the rummy nose are like back and forth. Love them. Absolutely awesome. Is there benefits having rainwater in tanks with fish and plants? I don't know. I've never tried filling my tanks up with rainwater. Am I a big college football fan? No, I am not. Am I a big football fan? Yes, I am. A giant football fan. And I don't mean the New York Giants. Non-bottom dwellers. What was the first? Unlucky Eddie is muting. I think Unlucky Eddie needs to go catch a few more squirrels. And he's says Bruins. Randomly hockey. Death Mage. Yeah, I mean, you can use any substrate you want. You don't have to change it any of it out. Like ever. I mean, if you use soil, the nutrients in that particular soil will eventually run out. Hey, thanks, Justin. Appreciate it. Rack says this is the best hangout on the YouTubes. Well, I don't know if it's the best, but it's definitely one of them. But I appreciate that. Appreciate that, dude. You coming to Sarkakis, New Jersey for AE this year, Rack? Yes, of course. If you use any type of substrate, you can use root tabs to supplement a lack of thereof. So, for instance, in this tank behind me, there's a lot of sand, which is inert. There's no nutrients in it. It's just sand. So I add root tabs to the sand, and the plants feed off those root tabs, and then I replace them every 2 to 3 months. And that's how you get plants to grow in a basically inert substrate. If you have a substrate that's high in nutrients, you're most likely going to have a big algae outbreak. But once you get that under control with CO2 or less or no, or less lights or this or that, like it's really all of a big balance. But yes, the answer to the question is yes. Is plant soil good as a substrate? If you're going to have fish, I would use organic plant soil if possible, but you're going to have to rinse it and cap it big time. Anytime you use actual soil, you have to put a good cap on it with maybe finer gravel and then just your coarse go up. So you got little tiny pebbles, then maybe tinier, like bigger granules, and then like your pea gravel and cover that up. Otherwise, it's going to leach all over the tank, and it doesn't matter what kind of plants you're going to be able to grow because your tank's going to look like shit all the time. Steve says, roll tide roll. Does that mean Steve's from Alabama? Right? And then Trent says he's going to destroy y'all. So I'm assuming maybe he's from, if Trent's from Alabama, who's Alabama's biggest rivalry? Like fucking Kansas, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana. Someone fill me in. Death Mage says LSU, so that's Louisiana. State is Alabama's rivalry. All right, we got 3 minutes. So who's got something to ask? More than happy to answer. Swords, Vals, Sag, yep. Hygro can be tricky, depending. But the rest look good, yeah. No problem. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Time for a new toothpick. Wednesday, huh? What a weird night to do a live stream. Just no random reason. Julian wants a 75-gallon aquarium with 4 to 5 goldfish. I would do a Fluval 406 canister filter. Some sort of canister filter will be perfecto. Trent's from South Carolina. Hey, I was just there. I was just at North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, last week. Java Fern's good. Yep, love Java Fern. Yeah, all soils will eventually, their nutrients will be depleted, and it'll just be dirt. I only kept African cichlids for a very short time, so I don't want to say certain ones I wouldn't recommend because why don't you go check out IFG, Jay Wilson, Steve Poland. Those guys are African cichlids dudes, and I can attest to what's what. Yeah, Devin, Ludwig is great for a low-tech tank. And then, if you can't keep it red with lots of iron, it's still like a beautiful green plant. Perfect. See you, Kev. We got a little college football rivalry going on here. Yeah, Christopher, you can do that. Put that nutrient-rich substrate down below. Cover with sand. Perfecto. Roll Tide, roll. All right, folks. I am going to call it a night. I'd like to say thank you to everybody who stopped by. Thank you for all my moderators. And also, thank you, even though I have a bad mouth, I don't like to see naughty shit on the comments. So that's also great. This was a 1 hour live stream with nobody being a dick. I didn't see any messages taken away or retracted. David says, any advice on treating? No, I don't know. I honestly don't know how to treat tanks, really. If the fish are sick, I just let them fight it out. Yep, I mean, that'll work. But seriously, thank you all. Thank you, Greg, for watching over all the fish and especially Huckleberry. Dilly dilly to Greg. Dilly dilly to Rack. Can't believe I didn't see Lisa tonight, but who knows? Maybe she'll pop in as I say goodnight. I'm out. Peace.